Southern Arizona is home to many stories of the Wild West. Towns once thriving years ago, now completely abandoned and in ruin. Many with barely any foundations or rubble left to show the traces of humans that were living there at one point in time. One such area is near and along the San Pedro River, one of the few rivers that actually flow north from Mexico. It was here that many towns and mills were built back in the 1800s to support the local mining, in particular the town of Tombstone, Arizona, which has its own assorted history. Now these towns thrived for a decent time until a large Sonoran earthquake caused not only destruction of towns, but the flooding of the mines, and this impacted some of those towns greatly. Some even say the entire area is cursed, and that the malice only spreads out from the town of Tombstone, Arizona itself. Now, one area of repute is near the San Pedro crossing on a road between the town of Tombstone and Sierra Vista, and it is called Charleston Road. Named after a nearby ghost town, the road serves folks daily en route to Tombstone. Yet there's always been talks of odd occurrences or visions happening late at night on the road. Near the river crossing, a bridge has been erected, with an older bridge remaining next to it in decay. A mysterious woman has sometimes been seen hitchhiking on this road for years, only to disappear when you get close. Others have said glowing orbs have been reported at night, lighting up the river tree, and weird sounds that come from the river, sometimes ones that sound like screams. Now, we don't know if some of these stories are truth or fiction, but that's why it makes the perfect spot for our investigation. Project Paranormal presents the investigation of the haunted San Pedro River. Careful here with your gear too. Down and to the right, which is going to be the it's underneath a train tunnel. Old bridge / train tunnel. Yeah, be very careful. So yeah, this is the old bridge. And so here's an interesting story. Late at night one time with a friend, in the middle of night, we were up on this, and oh, how appropriate, that says ghost. But we were up on the bridge, and we heard what sounded like, it can't even make the sound with my hand. Hold on.
Yes, the steel support beams holding up this old bridge is quite solid.
Don't even hear it. That's the sound we heard. In the middle of the night. Sounded like something hit the bridge really hard. Now it's kind of hard to get like sound samples here because you get constant traffic running.
Well, I think we're pretty fortunate though, it's not very windy right now.
Correct, it isn't windy hardly at all. If anything, we just need to watch for snakes, animals, bugs. I have heard, I don't know if I can find out or not, if it's true or not, but I've heard people have jumped off the bridge to kill themselves. And that it did happen. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't gone to this area this way in a long time, so I have no idea how it's gonna play out. So Dan, hold on to your gear as best you can, because we might even get to a part, because it's been monsoons, where it's too wet. Now I don't know about you guys, but I've been out here many times at night, specifically on the bridge and late at night, and just weird things have happened, weird feelings, weird vibe. Sometimes I come out here at night, nothing. I feel fine. Other nights I come out here and I felt terrified, petrified. Right now I feel fine. I don't feel anything.
I'm just concerned about the lone car that was up there and no one around.
Yeah, and they could be hiking like we are.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like somebody's camped, or at some point is camped. It looks like it hasn't been used in a long time. So I think it kind of curves this way and then around, and then that's where the tunnel's at, if I'm remembering. Like I said, I haven't gone this way in a while. I'm always up there.
There is a little bit of a risk in case it is raining
Uh-huh.
closer to Hereford.
Oh, yes.
Flash flood on us, so
Correct. So
just keep an eye out and keep checking back every once in a while.
and keep your ears open. If you hear a rush of water,
Get to the side.
get to the side quickly. I mean, theoretically, if there's a big storm coming from Mexico and it flows, this river is one of the few rivers that flows north, San Pedro River, it would be coming from that direction, right? Yeah, so that way. So we would hear stuff coming from that direction. We need to bail out. But the odds of that are slim, because I don't see or hear too much thunder, lightning, and while granted we can't see what's around the corner or down 200 miles, it would have to rain a lot. Looks like some kind of tracks right here. I don't know if that's a dog track. Does that look like a big dog paw? Right there?
Yeah.
Really?
Right coyote.
Okay. I want this to be as real as possible. If you don't feel comfortable, if you don't like what you're doing, just say so. I mean, look how massive that tree, that tree, look how big that tree bark is. I mean, it's got
This tree's been here a while.
yeah, this tree has been here many years, seen many things, but the whole area here is rife with, you know, talks of weird stuff. So this is, I think, the area where I said it kind of curves. But there might be a way through, and it might be like right over here. But if not, we might have to call it quits as far as going to this thing. We can wait here and we can ask some things. If there's anything out here in this wilderness, anything in this wilderness, and you want to say anything, speak into this microphone. Make a loud sound out in the distance. Splash water. Any kind of energy you might have out here, let us know you're out here. It's almost like as soon as the lights go out, as soon as the sun goes down, it takes on a whole different feel. Some places it's worse than others. I will say tonight, like I said, so far, I'm not feeling like I do sometimes when I do come out here. But it is also early in the night. It is not late at night, and it's not pitch black yet either. Does that play into the psyche of things? Quite possibly. We do get a lot of noise on this investigation because we are near a road.
However, the roads did follow the old train tracks, so it's not that the roads are an impediment. They were built along the same lines as it was 200 years ago.
Yes. And the reason I do think this place does have some history also and energies is because this was the river that Tombstone, Charleston, Millville, these are all names of old west towns, mining towns. Contention City ran all along here, all the way up north to Fairbank and others up there. So, I mean, this was an area where people were, you know, traveled along, got water from. I mean, there is a lot of stuff that, even not far from the bridge, Brunkhouse Cabin was a mine area that the owner was actually found dead, and the rest of his coworkers with his drilled into him and then thrown into the pit, and they never caught who did it, and there was multiple people that were dead.
Like, no way. I was like, well,
Oh shit.
well, there's something.
It was probably a frog.
Yeah, it was probably a frog jumping, but it happened out of nowhere. in between what we're talking about. You gotta really kind of keep your eyes and ears open, even more so than if you're in an abandoned building somewhere where things just sort of can be heard all around. Oh, that incline. Whew. All right, I'm gonna go lights out here. Alrighty. I know this is an old bridge. If there's anything that's out here, any sort of entity, spirit that haunts these parts, speak to us now through the microphone, or make some kind of loud noise, something.
Some kind of ritual involving the locks on the fence.
You know, I don't know. That just started happening.
I believe they do it other places, but I forget the reason why.
Some kind of a good luck charm, or... Wow, that's all old. That's old looking lock.
Ask it a question. Do you belong to someone?
Does this lock belong to someone?
You're writing on the back?
Yeah, it says, I love you more. B and P. So over here, there's like way more locks. And this has a bunch of locks on this side and the other side. There's even flowers over here. Or carnations. The lock thing only started happening, I think, a couple years ago. I don't really know the whole story behind it. This is a big tree here by the old bridge. Was anyone ever hung out here? Did anyone ever drown out here? We're gonna go now, so if you have anything to say or make known presence, now would be the time. Frogs don't count. It was at this point that we decided we'd call it a night. We couldn't really find the location we were looking for, and we thought we would head back on a later date. We decided that this time we would drive out, just the two of us, and we would actually make sure to follow the train tracks and the wash, which was a way I knew would take us directly to the tunnel. It was getting dark much quicker today, and we didn't have a lot of light, so by the time we got to the tunnel, it was already dark.
Like up from up there, down, or something, or...
So we made it to the tunnel, and we'll probably have some quiet time here in a little while, where we can get some good shots of this tunnel. Oh man, it's so bright. We were up there. We went the wrong way. There was no safe way to come down from up above, so we had to take a long route. As you can hear, it echoes in here.
Wanna go check out the water over there?
That's just the river. and there's a kind of a drop, so I'm not talking that much because I'm actually nervous. Yes, I'll admit I'm nervous as hell right now. Don't really feel the need. There's no reason to be, really. Cameraman Dan here, he's fine. He's good, but I don't know why. I feel anxious being here. And I've been out here before, but
I could have sworn last time we were here, this whole thing was just filled to the brim.
filled to the brim with what, water?
With water. I could have sworn it was like...
I mean, maybe, but last time I remember being there, you could walk out there. I mean, do you feel anything out here, or are you just kind of like, eh?
No, I don't feel really anything. Other than just bugs.
That's truth right there. A lot of bugs. Well, are we going to walk back the way we came?
Yeah, I would say that'd be the best way.
If there is anything out here, any spirits, I'll get that off my face because the bugs are...
Shining light on your face is going to attract the bugs to your face.
If you want to say anything, speak through the camera. Make a noise.
So why do you think this place is haunted?
I've heard stories. Stories of devil worship out here long ago. Other weird stuff happening. Obviously, just the river. Oh, cracking is huge. It's on your...
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but...
It's huge.
Okay, well...
But just, getting towards the river, like I said earlier. Fuck. Being towards the river, with the history of the West all along this here, and bandits and everything else, it's just a history, and you just hear a lot of stories. I'm guessing that was bad.
Or a hawk or something. Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna head back. There's bugs everywhere. We're probably getting bitten, eaten up alive. While we were out there, not much occurred, but we realized it was just too dark to see anything, and we should head out during the day for safety reasons, in order to see if we could actually find the town of Charleston, and if it was worthy of investigating and safe to investigate at night.
Alright guys, so basically what we're doing right now is we're going to try to find this, what is it? Ruins, the Charleston ruins?
And the cemetery.
And the cemetery.
Cemetery.
The cemetery. Trying to find the cemetery.
I'll actually say, this is pretty cool to see because this river is fairly dry and a lot underground. So when you see it this high up from the rain and the monsoon season, it's pretty awesome to see because it actually looks like a river. Normally this is nothing. Well, this is something. So, looking at the Google map footage, the town remnants of Charleston is actually right over there in the thick, along with the cemetery, which is where we're trying to see if we can get to so we can do a proper nightly investigation. But again, can't stress it enough, can't be crossing no fast flowing rivers. It's dangerous. So does that look like a squirrel? Can't tell. Whatever it is, it's been dead a little while, but not completely. Still got skin, and I think it still smells. Ugh. Sucks. I was so excited to get across the river today, and yeah, something's stopping us.
Looks like it got struck by lightning.
Yeah. Definitely looks like it was on fire at some point. And yeah, if it got struck, there is just stuff everywhere where we strike. Fuck! God damn it! Ugh. Hate spiders. Walk right in a web, can't even see. Ugh.
Thank you.
That, my friends, is where we were the other night on the investigation. Coming walking through the first night.
Yeah, because that's the tree.
That's the tree. Little spa here. Whirlpool.
Yeah, place the junk collects.
Prescription bottle. That just shows you the stark contrast between when we were here and there was hardly any water. And now it's just filled. The question is now, I don't think going that way is plausible. So I think we might need to try to go up somewhere up here. It's our best bet probably. Might not be fun.
The rains had caused the river to overflood and we could not cross it. So we decided for safety reasons we needed to leave and we would try to get to the other side when the water level was lower. Alright, so we had the misfortune yesterday of the river type, situation of the flooding and the rain and storms. So we came back out today during the daylight and we started on the opposite end of the river in case that we weren't able to cross the river again. Luckily the water's down, but what I'm standing right here before me is parts of Charleston, the old ghost town. Now a lot of this has crumbled and fallen due to erosion, earthquakes that happened back in the day, which actually originally helped make this place just collapse. But after much hiking, walking, kind of guerrilla hiking, we've made it. And check this out. We've actually been able to pull our GPS up. If you can see that or not.
No, can't
see it. But basically, we are heading right to the direction of the town. So we're gonna keep going and see what we get. Let's go. And as you can see, this one is in much better shape to what once was. I know it's unconventional, but we're gonna do a reading of VMF and questionings out here. Mostly it's usually done at night, but who's to say we can't hear spirits in the daytime? If there are any spirits out here in this old town of Charleston, and you want to take and make yourself known, speak into the microphone on this camera, or make this meter jump. We're curious if any of you are still out here to this day due to the various incidents that did occur out here and the history surrounding this entire region. It did get cloudy all of a sudden. Coincidence? That's twice now. That's twice that just something like that's made a noise. We're gonna keep moving along. Our goal is to find more ruins, and in particular, the cemetery.
I feel like part of it is still so well preserved because, as we just found out, it's a pain in the butt to get to. It's not only next to the river, but it's on the harder part of the side of the river to get to. So I feel like if it was more noticeable from the main area of the river, people would have come here and just kicked it down. But instead we have what we have preserved. Weird, we got here and it was really hot when we came here, and really just not really windy at all, a little bit, but now it's like we got here, it's really shady and windy. Spirits left in old Charleston town. Speak to us. Make a noise. Say something to the camera, or make this meter electromagnetic spike. We just want to know if you're here, or if anything is out here. In the Old West days, there was a lot of violence out here in general and the surrounding area of Tombstone. Is there anything you have left unknown to say that you want to get out now to the living? So we've been searching for the cemetery, which is supposed to be located in these grounds around these ruins, but we've kind of scoured everywhere and we just can't find them. Part of the reason we wanted to come out here during the day is to see if this would be a viable place to do an investigation at night, but concerning how far it is away from the river, from the road, and how dense it is in here, and that we can't even simply find the cemetery, I'm going to have to probably say this will be the end of the investigation here. So we had found the town during the day. It was an absolute slog of a hike, but we made it. We were tired, a lot of overgrown brush. We investigated, but we deemed it just not safe enough to come out in the middle of the night. But we decided we'd go back to the bridge for one final night. All right, we're just out here on the bridge. Now there's a lot of history of this area. We know that there's been stories of people in the Charleston town dumping bodies into the river to go up to Fairbank as the river flows north. If there's anybody here or anything that would like to make their presence known, speak into the EVP or the recorder for an EVP, or make this electromagnetic field detector go off. We just want you to talk. If you're still around, if you're here, why are you still here? Whoa. You see that? No. No?
What did you see?
This thing went off. If you're here, why are you still here? So if you're still out here, or you have something to say, speak into that voice recorder. If you're still here, make this EMF detector go off right now. It can sense you. You don't have to be afraid. Okay. So if you're here, you saw that, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're here, say something into the EVP recorder. Anything you want to tell us. If you have a message, something you want us to say, to know. Oops. I had to reset it. Say anything. If you have anything to say about any of these locks on the bridge, or anything about this bridge, or this tree, this huge tree that's next to the bridge, or anything about the river, or the town of Charleston, or Tombstone, or Fairbank,
And with a few days and nights at the location, our investigation has come to a close. And what we've assessed from the area is that while it's filled with steep history, lore, and urban legends of the Wild West, is there actual paranormal or spiritual activity out here? We are unsure. While we did possibly get some EVPs, and while we did get some spikes in EMF detection, whatever's here, if anything, definitely did not seem malicious or ill intent while we were out there. Is it possible that this place is filled with paranormal activity? That question still remains largely so. Until the next episode, this is Project Paranormal, signing off. Thank you guys for watching, and if you'd like to stay tuned for further episodes and news involving Project Paranormal, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. On the next episode, we'll be visiting the haunted hospital in Ajo, Arizona. Stay tuned and stay safe until then.